what's no longer for you will hurt you more to hold on to than if you just let it go. And I say that as somebody who once was a people pleaser, who once was a person who tried to convince people of his value, who once tried to, trying to force people into his life. And I saw the damage that it did to me and how it impacted me as a person. And I saw how it left me in a position to really just cause my own suffering, really just damage myself. And what I really want to go over in this video is how it's okay to be willing to let things go. Because a lot of you guys have this mindset where you're unwilling to let go of what's familiar to you or what you know best or who you know best. And, I get it and I understand it because, again, I've been through it where you're trying so hard to fix something that's already too broken to be fixed. And a phrase that kind of popped in my mind earlier today that made me want to start recording this video is that you can't fight for something if you're the only one in the ring fighting. So if you're the only one in the ring fighting, you're really just fighting yourself, which again, you're just damaging yourself. And when you have to realize sometimes that some things are just time to be let go of because they bring more chaos into your life than they do peace, you have to become okay with that. And you have to trust that, because I think a lot of us, we and what I used to do was lack the ability to trust that I would be able to move forward without it. When certain people and certain things have been in your life for so long, you kind of can't picture what life looks like without it, because you wake up, you got in a routine where you texted this person, you called this person at specific times, you did specific things with this person, y'all had certain conversations. And so picturing a life where that's literally no longer an option, not by choice, but like you have to adapt to a reality that you didn't want to necessarily even let go of. That could be a hard thing to do. And when we're unwilling to do that, that's where we end up begging. That's where we end up trying to, constantly try and get people to see our worth. And again, we really just cause our own suffering. We end up draining our own energy because it's like we're so attached to an outcome. We're so attached to this specific person being in our life or this specific thing being in our life, to where it's like we don't open ourselves up to what could be. And I had to learn where it's like sometimes you have to let go of certain people in order to make space for better. Sometimes this season of your life isn't meant for certain people to be in your life. And sometimes people are going to come into your life and teach you certain lessons. Sometimes people are going to come in your life and take you as far as they're capable of taking you and growing you as a person and helping you discover things about yourself that you never knew in the past. But it's like you have to be willing to accept that and understand that. But if you aren't willing to, then that's where you struggle to let go. That's where you constantly hold on to things that are no longer meant to be in your life, which can then just kind of mess up your whole journey, because you're not going with the flow, but instead you're trying to hold on to old baggage and old bricks that are no longer meant to be in this current season of your life. And I also get it because sometimes it's like you are so aware of what could be or what once was, or the idea or that fantasy that you created in your head. And sometimes when that expectation gets crushed, it's hard to again let go of, because you convince yourself for the longest that, hey, this reality would eventually come to life, or this idea in my head was gonna happen, or they might have told you certain things where it made you believe, hey, this is gonna happen. Now they're going against their word, or whatever happened, whatever your situation looks like. Letting go of that expectation or letting go of that idea you created in your head is sometimes a hard thing to let go of, because sometimes you're so attached to that potential to where it's like you get in the mindset of, if I could just fix this, then this will be all good. Then if I could fix this situation, handle this better. Like you come up with all these different scenarios to where it's like all these possible what ifs, what could be, what once was, if we could just get back to this and it's all good. But like sometimes that's just not how it simply works. Sometimes you can't get so attached to what once was, and you just have to accept things for what they are now. People fortunately change, but unfortunately sometimes that change isn't for the better. Sometimes that changes just in a different direction from who we're becoming compared to who they're becoming. And it's not always a personal thing as of, one person is doing wrong, one person's doing right. Sometimes it's just, again, people are no longer for us and they come into our life for that specific season and teach us certain things. And what I had to really learn is like entering new seasons of my life, you're learning different things, you're learning different lessons, you're learning different things about yourself and how to go about living your life. And sometimes that needs to be a solo thing. Sometimes that's something God needs you to go through on your own or just with him. And it's like people come into our life to serve a purpose at times. I think that purpose is to prepare us for the people that actually will matter, the people that will actually like count, the people who are meant to be in our life for that long period of time. And I understand it. And what I used to struggle with as well was like picturing a life without certain people and the uncertainty that I would be able to move forward. Some people have been a part of our lives for so long and they've helped us accomplish certain things. And there's so many different memories and things like that, to where we almost have this idea that what we had was already the best that we could get almost. And it's like hard to picture that anything could ever get back to once was, or that people could provide that same feeling. And what I had to really get in the mindset of was just like, there is better out there for me, and that this isn't the best that I can get, and this isn't the best situation for me. But it's like, for you personally, that's the best you ever experienced. And it's like, until you're willing to, again, let that thing go and step into that unknown of, unknown possibilities, unknown opportunities, unknown people, it's like you can never, possibly see that better. And it's like your perspective's so limited to your experience. And it's like, until you become willing to step into new experiences, then you never really know until you find out. And that's what I had to develop the mindset of, viewing losing certain people is that like, losing certain people, I know there's a chance that I'll find better out there. Not that somebody's better than the other, but somebody's better for me in my situation and who I'm becoming in this season of my life and serving my purpose in this world. And it's like so many different unknowns that you never want to limit yourself to one specific person or a specific type of environment or a specific thing. It's like you can really apply this to life in general, but it's like when you hold on to what you know, you limit yourself from experiencing what you don't know. And what you don't know could help you out so much more and be so much more beneficial to you than you know. But it's like, again, you have to be willing to find out and step into new experiences and let go of your own way of thinking and your own way of experiencing and your own people, essentially, and be willing to experience something new and see the change and see the impact that it can have on your life. And for those of you who might be struggling right now to where you're questioning and you're doubting yourself of, I don't know how I can move forward, I don't know if life can actually get better, what you have to realize is that this part of your life, this season that you're currently in, is only temporary. Some of y'all might be in a dark storm. Some of y'all might be walking through the rain and it's pitch dark, pitch black. And what you have to realize is that all of this is only temporary. It's temporary feelings, it's temporary emotions, it's temporary everything. It's a temporary season of your life. And sometimes you have to go through that storm and build your strength up. And it's the willingness to keep fighting to where you see like you're really stronger than you previously thought. Your emotions and your feelings are telling you one thing. They're telling you that, what you're going through right now currently is hell, basically. And it's saying like, I don't know if I'm strong enough to get through this. I have no motivation to do anything. I can't see how life could possibly get better. It's telling you every reason for you to basically give up and, try and hold on to the past, because life can't get better. Supposedly, that's the way it feels. But it's like, I need you to understand that you're strong enough to get through this season, and you're stronger than you really think. And when you get out of this storm and you get out of this season, you're going to realize that in the future, when you take on things, your mind and your feelings will try and tell you one thing, and your pre-assumptions will try and tell you one thing. But once you actually step into it and you're willing to face it and you're willing to fight and you're willing to go through the motions and you're willing to be resilient and you're willing to not give up on yourself, that's where you're really going to see your strength. That's where you're really going to build your strength. And that's where you're really going to understand that all of this is temporary, and that you're capable of getting through whatever situation or whatever circumstance that God decides to place you in. I always tell people, like, God's never going to place you in a situation or scenario that he doesn't give you the strength to be able to get through. We're equipped with all the necessary tools, all the necessary mindsets, all the necessary lessons to be able to get through the season of our life. And if we're currently learning something in this season of our life, then we're capable of learning it to be able to get through that season of our life. But you got to have that belief and willingness to, again, keep going, not giving up on yourself, not allowing your emotions and your feelings to dictate your actions and make you quit or just, you know, accept where you are and not step into the new or the better that could possibly be out there for you. But, you know, I appreciate you guys for tuning into another video. I hope you learned a thing or two. Hoodies will be out very, very soon, as well as our self-discovery community. That's already out, so be sure to join that while it's free for the next week or two. And yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.